Hi guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to do a offence data entry form. I've already actually done some of the groundwork to construct this, but I can show you how you can add these fields in your toolbox. If you don't know how to add a user form, what you need to do is press Alt and F11 and it goes into your Visual Basic Editor. Then what you need to do is go to Insert User Form. That'll add a new user form, as you can see. I don't need that one because I've already partially created the user form just for time really. So this is basically an offence data entry form for the police recording of offenders that I set up in my previous role. What you can see, it doesn't contain any personal information, it's just a demo how to actually create this. So I've named a URN. Let's just expand this out slightly. Label URN. So that's unique reference number, and text URN, so that's where you're going to actually type the URN number into. Offender name, which is a label object there, and that's the text box of this one. So you just drag that over and resize it to your needs. So that's text. Offender name, so date, label date, text date, that's going to be stored as text unfortunately. Crime type, list crime type, because we have a list of different crime types, and then we have a list of ethnicities as well. We've also got an add offender, so CMD add, and we've got a close form, CMD close, as I've named it, and I put the caption here, caption properties there, so you change that to actually see what it actually shows to the person. So add offender, close form. So let's get on to coding the form. So right click on the offender form and view code. So I'm going to have to set first of all an initialize property for the form. So I'm going to go user form, drop it down, and I'm going to set the initialize event. Okay, get rid of that, I'm going to click it. So what I want to do is populate my list boxes when the form loads. Okay, so I'm going to make these static items. So I'm going to say I'm going to use a with n-width statement, and I'll just prepare it first, prepare the groundwork. With this, you can do me to find all the offences on you. LST, crime type, and then each one and put add item, all crime, add item, robbery, add item, domestic burglary, add item, cause sexual offences, add item equals vehicle crime, add item equals murder / homicide, add item equals domestic abuse / violence, and let's do one more, add item equals hate crime, so crime motivated by hate. So that'll give me all in my list crime type. It basically could be anything, because it'd be list box 1, so with me.listbox1.add item, all those. Similarly, you can actually, sorry I can't say that word, not today anyway, you could make a range, so you could refer to the add items in the range. I'll probably show you how to do that in another video. So let's just make the ethnicity one very, very simple. LST, ethnicity, but these items won't change, so that's why I'm hard coding them. Add item, white European, here, whites, that's what we call white British. And that's for consistency's sake, Asian, add item, Afro-Caribbean, this is going to catch me out, I think that's right. end with. So when we use the form initializers, if I can just show you, I'll just play this now. Oh, what's that mean? I'm putting equals. Sorry guys, they don't need to be equals. My apologies. Always debugging. Okay. So when it loads up, you'll see that all my crime types have now been added in, and all my ethnicities have been added in too. Okay. So now what we're going to do is when we click the add offender, this is going to have all the intelligent logic in it. So I'm going to dim the I row as long, dim a worksheet object as worksheet. Because that's an object, I need to set it worksheet equals worksheets. And my worksheet is called offence data. That's basically the spreadsheet where all the data goes to. So find the first empty row. This is very useful with anything that you're doing. So I row equals WS, so worksheet cells, using that cells property that I demonstrated in the previous video, rows dot count. And then I want one column, dot end, so it's looking upwards, XL up, looking at the end, XL up the list, dot offset, so I want to offset that current row by one row, so it basically moves down one to the next available entry, and then you just need to fill it with dot row. So that's basically how you find the end row, and then you offset by one. So let's put some validation. Let's check for a unique reference number. Unique reference number. So if I'm going to use the trim function to trim down whatever the value is in me.text URN, you need to specify the value property of that box. Okay, end that off because that's part of the trim function. Then I'm going to go equals nothing, then me.txt URN set focus. What that does is it sets focus back to the form control. So it basically jumps back to the text URN, and then it's going to have a message box, and we'll say please enter a URN number. Okay. VB information. And if. Then this one's going to check for the username. So trim again, same convention, me dots text off name, so offender name dot value equals then me dot txt off name set focus, again same code, and then please enter a offender name. VB information again, do it all to functions, and if again. This is going to get tedious because now I'm going to check for no, not, that's what I'm going to then do. So then I want to copy my data to the spreadsheet that is hidden. Okay. So worksheet.cells and then there's, because I know about the I row, on I row, on column 1, so I want to find the end row, the first column, and the value is going to be the actual entry from the text URN dot value. Okay, and then my ws dot cells is again, gets repetitive, but just to repeat the point, labour the point, value equals this. These normally, the number of rows normally match the number of kind of form objects that you've got on there. I've currently got 5 form objects, so yeah, we're going to create this 5 times. Okay. And again, we keep going. It's going to be whatever you've chosen from the list. I row 5 value equals me dot list ethnicity dot value. Then what we're going to do is clear the data in the form and start again. So again, me.txt URN dot value me.txt of name dot value. Stop doing that, sorry. Txt date value. If I said I wouldn't do that, stop doing that. Smack me. That value. This ethnicity value. And then I'll go straight back to the URN and I'm going to set focus on that to end it. So that's the end of my sub there. So user form initializers, let's go to Magnifier again. Magnifier, sorry, I should have that on my desktop really. Windows 8.1, getting used to it still. So when the user form initializers, I want to populate my list boxes with each one of these items. Then I want to check the ethnicity. Okay. From here, I just want to scroll down a bit, just the tab. So scroll up. So I'm going to go to my I row, so I'm going to state what my I row is, and then my worksheet, and then worksheet turns data. I'm going to find the last row, do a bit of validation. Then I want WS cells I row 1, as you can see here, and do each of those rows, and then all my values there. To then clear the form again. There's a few more steps. I'm just going to exit Magnify for a sec. Right, so there's a few more steps now. What I now need to do, you can actually put something on the so let's go back to the user form, close form. I want to add a reference to that as well. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to unload me, so unload form. And then what we could do is actually use something on the user form. And there's something called a query close event. Okay. So then you can just put if close node links to this, it's got to link to one of these. Both these have got to be used. Equals VB control menu, then cancel again equals true. Then you basically just go message box you have to exit using the close button on the form. Basically what this does is it flashes an error up when you try and use the red X at the top of the user form. I'll show you that in a second. Okay, just a little bit more. There's another module here which basically shows, it's basically one of them here makes my offence data sheet, selects it, then it says active window.selected sheets.visible equals false, hides it on the hide button, and then the other one makes the sheet visible. This will become apparent in a second when we run the offence form. So let's go. So I've already got some records in there from before. So show sheet, this is where my data is stored. Let's just get rid of this. So for each one of these, every time we make a data entry, it'll update. So I've basically put just a counter of the offence data, so it gives me some statistics, and just the now function just shows you what today's date and time is. So let's make up a URM. 1356 offender name, Stuart Pierce. Oops. Pearson. I'm just going to put Stuart Pierce, but he's a real person. Let's say it happened today. 14. We're going to select his crime type. We'll say he did a robbery, and he's white British. Add offender. I know why. That's because we're using 2013 VBA trim. Yeah, you need to make sure that you're prefixing sometimes if they're retrospective functions with VBA.trim. That should work now. Let's do that again. Yeah, one record's been added, so let's do another record. 2547. Lemon Shire. 11th of the 8th again, 2014. Let's say he's done a vehicle crime. White British, add offender. There's one more for safe, for good measure. John Smith, good old John. 11th of the 8th, 2014. We'll say he's a murderer. We'll say he's white European, even though it's the most English name known to man. Okay, so if I try and then exit it now, this is what we did with the query close method. Oh. Probably put a misspelling there. Just let me check that. Close mode is integer. If close mode equals VBA form control menu. Sorry guys. You see? So I'll try and do that again just to demo. It'll come up with that. It won't let me close this form with the X. So the only way to do it is close form. Hide sheet hides my offence data. Show sheet gives me my offence data, and it shows you the records that I've inserted in there. So yeah, if we go back to that, these are just macros assigned to each button: to hide on click, to show on click. And the form here, I've actually put a text box, but I've assigned a macro to it. So rectangle click is basically just says offence form dot show, and that's how you create a form for a data import. And you can add as many fields as you want, as long as you follow the convention that we said on view code. As long as you follow this convention here, you can put as many cells in as you want. ws.cells IRO 1, 2, 5. You could go up to 4,000 if you wanted. If you had 4,000 things on your form, obviously you'd have to put a bit more validation into this. Okay, hope that's informative. Stay tuned, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.